Within the Nedbank family, we have Nedbank Wealth, and within Nedbank Wealth, we have Nedgroup Investments, which is effectively the asset management division of Nedbank. We consider ourselves a global asset manager, so therefore look at a lot of what the sustainability megatrends are across the globe. So for us, we have a number of interventions. The first is around the way that we manage money that support the sustainability agenda, and then secondly, how we inform our clients around responsible investing so they can make their own decisions and be key role players in our journey. Probably the main challenge facing the world at the moment is around climate change, so obviously a quite strong environmental tilt. What sustainability tries to do is at least draw the conclusions that climate change is not just an environmental crisis but a social one as well. And I think these are felt probably more heavily here in South Africa than potentially elsewhere. We have high degrees of social inequality, we're highly exposed to climate change. So for us, I think this informs a lot of our decision making with regards to sustainability, and we remain optimistic that through the way that we manage money, we can have a positive impact and real world outcomes with regard to those challenges. The UN SDGs, or the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, came about in 2015 with the 2030 target line. So as of 2022, we are roughly halfway through the journey of the SDGs. They are essentially a roadmap to guide global leaders as well as global businesses, which we are. So Nedbank have adopted 9 of the 17 SDGs. Of course, within asset management, we have a direct impact on some of these, but via the way that we invest money, we effectively have an indirect impact on all 17 of those SDGs. So within Nedgroup Investments, we've actually tried to simplify it a little bit by focusing on what we call our 4 key sustainability focus areas. 2 environmental ones, which are climate change and biodiversity loss. The other 2 are more socially orientated, so labour and human rights, as well as people diversity and inclusion. And we believe change does start at home, so we're trying to enforce some of these morals and values internally, as well as with our fund managers that we work for and the companies that we invest in. We really have been building our responsible investment capabilities probably since about 2018. We joined the UNPRI in June 2022. That's the United Nations Principles for Responsible Investing, largely motivated by the capabilities that they offer us. As a global asset manager, we can collaborate with other firms around corporate engagement, which is probably a massive movement that we're seeing within the space of responsible investing, as well as the academia that they offer us as we look to really uplift and upskill our colleagues around responsible investing and sustainability. On the notion of upskilling, we do work with our external or boutique fund managers, and they on their own responsible investment journeys as well. And we try to support that through the collaboration and the work that we do with them. And what we try to do is annually produce a responsible investment research report that focuses on what we believe to be best practice, while celebrating the autonomy and the uniqueness of each of our boutique managers that we partner with. We are in a very privileged position to be part of the Nedbank family, and they're recognized in South Africa as the Green Bank. So they do a lot of wonderful work in the environmental and the social space. They have a wonderful partnership with the WWF in terms of the Green Trust. We sit on some committees with them, really on the ground work around sustainable agriculture, farming practices, from pollination to beehives, riparian zones along rivers. So it's really interesting to see from our perspective the impact that investment money can have from small scale to medium scale to large corporates at the same time. Our annual responsible investment report has grown from I think 10 or 13 managers to now almost 50 managers participating, and that's asset managers in our survey. So that's a key intervention for us. If you look at the accumulative assets, I think it's in the trillions of dollars. Our portfolios and the way that we allocate capital can have a say on the world and those sustainability challenges. Just in the environmental space, for example, we have a portfolio manager that focuses on green buildings. Another one that looks quite closely at the decarbonisation of their portfolio. It's what we refer to as a just transition here in South Africa as we move away from coal to cleaner versions of energy production. Nedbank are one of the major lenders in the renewable energy space here in South Africa. If I refer back to the renewable energy program from the inception here in South Africa, Nedbank were really one of the champions in terms of providing capital for renewable energy. We get quite a fair amount of questions from our clients around how they can gain access to some of these greener style investments. I think a lot of people on the street don't draw the conclusion between how they invest and what they invest in to their own values. I think what responsible investment does offer is the closing of the gap to be able to say, yes, I can invest with something that is aligned with my culture or with my value system. So we have clients that are very sensitive around something like conservation, others which are quite focused on climate change, others who hold ocean sustainability close to their hearts. So we like to encourage them to explore our investment offerings and see if any of these marry up with their own internal values. One of the core messages we'd like our clients to leave with is to push your fund managers on how they're approaching sustainability, what are they looking at, and how, as investors, they can gain access to something like a green energy transition or participation in achieving some of these global sustainability challenges, which we've spoken about at reasonable length here today.